Hi everyone, I'm Patti Stewart and I'm sitting here in Spelman Hall in the Labyrinth. I'm coming to you today as a trained Labyrinth facilitator. I was lucky enough to train with Lauren Artress, who's the Episcopal priest who pretty much rescued the Labyrinth from 350 years of obscurity and brought it back to the West. So a labyrinth is basically a spiritual tool. It's meant to have a person come in and move or pray and meditate sort of an inward reflective state on maybe something that's going on in their lives, maybe something they're looking for an answer to, maybe they're trying to listen to the Holy Spirit as the Spirit moves within their lives. It's circular, so it's meant to provide a safe and contained space for that meditative walk. And it isn't a maze. Mazes have many ways in, many ways out, and are meant to confuse you. Labyrinths, in order to facilitate your quiet meditative walk, have only one way in, a center, and one way out. So labyrinths are about 4,000 years old. They've been found in pastures, inside caves, in churches all over the world. In fact, labyrinths have been represented in almost all religions. They come in just a few different styles, and I'm sitting on one of the two main styles. And this is called the medieval style. It is modeled after the labyrinth that was found on the floor of Chartres Cathedral in France. So there are a couple of parts to this labyrinth, and I'll walk you through them. As you can see, there are concentric circles, and each one of these circles is called a circuit. So 1 circuit, 2 circuit, 3 circuit. This is an 11-circuit labyrinth. This particular blue shape right here is called a labrys. It's a double-sided axe. And there are a couple of other characteristics of this labyrinth that Westminster doesn't have, but they do have a very special addition, which are these corners that you can see here. These are called chapels. And you can stop off on your walk around the labyrinth. You can stop off in one of these chapels, sit for a bit, stand. There might be an activity if you're using it for a ritual or a ceremony. So it's just an extra addition that Westminster is lucky enough to have. So let's take a walk outside and we'll check out the other of the two kinds of labyrinths that Westminster has in the Memorial Garden. So here we are in the outside labyrinth. I want to clarify that this is not an example of the second type of labyrinth, the classic, which if you ever see it might look like a brain to you, but it is a different version of the medieval. You can see it has the same circuits, but there are only 7 of them in this example. It has the same center, it has the same labrys, and it has the same purpose. And I want to clarify that labyrinths aren't just used by faith-based organizations. They're also used by places like hospitals, high-stress organizations for their staff and clients. They're also used by corporations as team-building exercises. So lots of organizations use labyrinths for lots of different things. But when a faith-based organization does use a labyrinth, it's usually for ceremonies and rituals, or the meditative walking that we've been talking about. And those who use a labyrinth for meditative walking usually enter it with questions around healing, self-knowledge, or transformation. They're often going through something in their lives, and they're looking for an answer about that thing. When we talk about walking the labyrinth, we talk about the 3 arms. We enter the labyrinth with the intent to release. We're releasing control over our thoughts and over the outcome of what might happen. It's probably the very hardest part. And as we walk around, often near the center, we will receive some kind of a gift. It might be a thought, an aha moment, or a God spark. It's a gift that we receive. And as we exit or we return to the world with that gift, with the intent to use it, either for ourselves or the world, whatever we're called to do. I want to make it really clear that you don't have to enter the labyrinth thinking that something has to happen. Sometimes it doesn't, and sometimes it does. But if it doesn't, at the very least, you've had a nice, quiet, meditative walk, and that is surely worth it.